Hi, everybody. Welcome to 5 by 5 Live. This is very exciting because we're not standing 6 feet apart
I know, it's
anymore.
weird.
So it's weird.
Mhm.
It's good, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we are so excited today to be sitting here closely with Bob Hutchins, our Vice President of Digital. Bob leads all of our digital marketing practices here at 5 by 5. And there are changes always in your space.
Always.
But
Daily.
there are some significant changes in how people search. And I know our work with search engine optimization, we're finding that there's a lot more voice search that's happening, and that's significant for us as we are creating strategies. So first of all, will you make sure for those of us, just dumb it down a little bit, make sure we understand what voice search is, and then tell us real quick, Bob, what do we need to be looking out for and what do we need to do?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Shannon. It's really good to be here in person.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Voice search is a significant change in development in the way that we interact with our devices. And we all do it to some degree. Studies are saying now that up to 50% and even higher consumers use voice search daily.
Right.
So we talk to our phones. If
Yep.
you have an Apple phone, you say, "Hey Siri." If you have a Google device at home, it's "Hey Google," "Hey Alexa." I'm sure everybody watching this has experienced that in some degree. And the reality is we have to rethink how we're using search. And I think sometimes we don't even realize that every time we say, "Hey Alexa, what's the weather like today in Nashville, Tennessee?" Where is Alexa getting that info? Well, going out to the internet and doing a search
Right.
and pulling the info back and then just reading it in a voice and saying it back to you.
Right.
So as businesses, if we're going to rank and have Alexa pull up our info when someone's searching for a business or a service, we need to be optimizing for that and making sure we create our data, our websites, all their information, so that when there's 50% of the bazillion people that search, you're going to get pulled up.
That's great. That's great. Any thoughts on how we do that?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Okay.
The main ones that you have to optimize for are Google, Apple, and Alexa.
Okay.
They pretty much have the majority of all the online search. There's a few other small ones, but those are the ones you have to focus on. And it's not that difficult. You just have to remember to make sure if you're a local business, which a lot of local search is local, versus a national or international business. But if you're a local business of any size, make sure that your maps are updated. When I mean maps, that means Google Maps and Apple Maps. So make sure that your information is there. There you can go into Google and they have a interface that you can update and create your Google Maps, your information, your hours, etc. Same thing with Apple. Also, don't forget Yelp, because these voice search platforms will also pull Yelp.
Okay.
Important. Once you get up there on those, make sure you stay consistent, because you will get penalized if you say, "Well, I'm open on Saturday on Google Maps, but over on Yelp it says you're closed on Saturday," because maybe you changed something.
Right. And you didn't change it everywhere?
That's right.
Okay.
If your address is slightly off, maybe you say street on one and you say ST on another, those seem insignificant, but all those platforms, especially the ones that you're speaking to, they really care about giving accurate data.
And that's really their checkpoint, is if it's the same, then they're validating it as accurate. Okay.
So make sure that's updated and consistent. And as I said earlier, I think we have to change the way that we think about search. It's think about natural language.
Okay.
So I said earlier, weather in Nashville. If I'm on my computer or on my phone, I put in weather Nashville.
Right.
I don't speak like that to Siri or to Google Home. I say, "Hey Google, what's the weather like today in Nashville?" So what does that mean for you as a business, as you're thinking about natural language and optimizing your website? Create more questions and answers on your website.
That's good.
So it could be like, we offer the best, whatever it may be your product is. And the question, maybe it's a Q&A section, is, do you offer red cars on your site? Yes, we offer red cars on our site in Nashville, whatever it may be.
Right.
How does someone speak? So you have to rethink, versus in the old days of SEO, we would just say, okay, here's our keywords, make sure they're on the site.
Well,
naming
really, because that's what
phrases.
you're typing in are keywords.
That's right.
In a typed in search, yeah.
Yeah. And I would say the last thing that's most important these days is make sure that your site speed is optimized.
Mm-hmm.
With the new Web Core Vitals that Google is rolling out,
Right.
they want to make sure that your site comes up on mobile quickly, and you don't want to wait when you ask Siri or Alexa a question. You want it, and they want to give you that.
Yeah.
So if they have to wait, if Siri has to wait, or if Alexa has to wait, they're going to move on to the next one.
Got it.
So you can win by making sure your site is optimized for mobile, because that's where most people will search, and that it loads fast.
Right. And we always knew that was important from a user experience standpoint, but now you're saying you actually get penalized if it is not, that these different platforms are penalizing you under the new Vitals, right?
Yeah. Google came out about 6 months ago and said, these are the new core Web Vital things that are important, and site speed and mobile usability was number one. And Google rarely, maybe once a year, once every other year, comes out and says those things.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do, you need to
They're always changing. They just don't always tell us.
That's right.
Right.
So when they do let you know, they're kind of tipping the hat and saying, this is an important one.
Got it.
So this all has to do with mobile usage and voice search.
Got it. That's great. That's great. Well, thank you. I know those are really important.
Sure, absolutely.
And some of them seem like small things, like make sure your information is consistent across platforms, but it's a pretty high percentage of people that have those problems. So,
well, like anything in life, it's the little things stacked up.
Little things are the big things. That's exactly right. So thank you for that. Let's all go out and check some of these things and begin to rethink how we are strategizing with the increase in voice search. I know for me, I don't think I type anything in my phone anymore. I am all voice all the time. So if you get weird texts where things are misspelled, that's why. Just know. I actually know how to spell things, Bob.
Yeah, and if we could help any of our clients or anyone who's thinking about this, we certainly are diving pretty deep into this now.
Yeah, I'd be happy to have a conversation and really look at some of the things you're doing and put you with Bob and his team and see if there's any ways we can get some fixes out there.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, Shannon.
all right, thank you.